The Newsday continues here on One News Now. I'm Diego Castro, bringing you the biggest headlines from around the world. Hundreds of Palestinians were killed in a blast at a hospital in Gaza, which health authorities blame on an Israeli airstrike. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu denies that the blast was caused by Israel's military and instead blames it on barbaric terrorists in Gaza. This was the bloodiest single incident in Gaza since Israel launched a bombing campaign in retaliation for Hamas's attack. The health minister accused Israel of a massacre. Gaza's civil defense chief said 300 people were killed, while the health ministry said the tally goes up to 500. The blast took place on the eve of a visit by U.S. President Joe Biden to Israel to show support in its war with Hamas. A senior Hamas armed commander reportedly died in an airstrike launched by Israel. The commander is identified as Ayman Nofal of the armed wing Izz el-Din al-Qassam brigades in Gaza. The Israeli army distributed a video said to show the actual airstrike on the commander's location. And as Israel gears up to further its campaign in the Gaza Strip, its military spokesman says the next phase of the war may be different from expectations. The army spokesman warns that they may deviate from an anticipated ground offensive. So far, more than 4,200 people have died in both Israel and the Gaza Strip amid the ongoing conflict. The tally includes nearly 2,800 deaths and about 10,000 injuries in the Gaza Strip. Jordan calls off a four-way summit with U.S. President Joe Biden and other leaders. The summit was scheduled to take place today. Biden is currently in Israel to try to tamp down tensions and prevent the war with Hamas from spreading. Amman's foreign minister told their state-run media of the postponement, saying that the war between Israel and Hamas was pushing the region to the brink. The White House said Biden had hoped to use the summit to discuss the bloody October 7 Hamas militant attack on Israel with the United States, Arab allies, and the Palestinian Authority during the meeting. By Israel remains closed for a third day. Civilians with foreign citizenship, including Filipinos, continue to wait for Egypt's granting of humanitarian passage. More on that in this report by the Associated Press.
وبناشد الحكومة المصرية إنها تطلع لنا بعين من الرحمة، لأنه إحنا صراحة قاعدين في مكان خطر جدا، القصف من حوالينا، وحتى عشان أروح بدي أغامر بحياتي. فإن شاء الله يكون في حلول. هاي القصف إذا أنتم سامعينه جنبنا.
We'll be back with more stories after the break. Keep it here on One News. You're still watching One News Now World. I'm Diego Castro. Combative right-wing Republican Jim Jordan loses the first-round vote for U.S. House Speaker. Jordan got 200 votes in the first round, while 217 is needed for him to claim the Speaker's gavel. Jordan postponed further action until later today, as he scrambles to pressure the 20 fellow Republicans who voted against him on Tuesday. Democrats have argued that the prolonged Republican infighting calls for a compromise candidate that would enjoy the backing of both parties. Tuesday's failed vote meant that the House remains leaderless, as it has been since a handful of Republican insurgents engineered the removal of Kevin McCarthy earlier this month. India's top court rules that it cannot legalize same-sex marriages. The country's Chief Justice said making such a law is within the power of Parliament. The court ruling comes 5 years after a historic 2018 judgment when the Supreme Court scrapped a colonial-era ban on gay sex. For now, only Taiwan and Nepal allow same-sex marriages in Asia.
Some people try to spoil the atmosphere of Indian system, but I am happy that Supreme Court of India has accepted the version of the government that the court has no power to give this right of same-sex marriage. It is the only right of the Indian Parliament.
While we were aiming to get amendment in the Special Marriage Act, that has not happened. But the good thing is that our partnership, same-sex partnership, is now a recognized civil union. So yes, this is indeed a win for us today.
The Hollywood actors' strike stretches on to become the longest in Hollywood at 96 days as studios step away from contract negotiations. More on that and other entertainment headlines in Show Me's Minute, courtesy of the Associated Press. And those are the top world headlines of the hour. Join us again at 9:45 a.m. as we continue to monitor the day's biggest stories. I'm Diego Castro. We are One News, all sides, all the time.